Hello, welcome back everyone to this fine, beautiful Monday afternoon at 2. Today is January 21st. I am Kristen.
It's not January.
December. Well, I'm trying to get to 2021.
Yeah, we just want to get to 2021. This year is done. We're over it.
I'm Kristen.
I'm Rebecca.
Welcome to the Rabell Realty podcast on Facebook Live in December.
We're still in 2020. I'm sorry. Stop trying to push it along.
I said 21st, and I was like, we're in January 20. Yeah. Anyways, the 21st, almost Christmas. This is Christmas week, and last week we talked about Christmas presents and getting ready for Christmas. How much more do you have?
I have nothing. I'm done. I'm spent. I'm not buying anything else for anybody. Don't call me about Girl Scout cookies. Don't try to sell me those little candy bars that the band is always selling. I'm buying nothing.
Awesome. I still have pretty much everything.
I get it. I know.
I was in Atlanta this week. Go Gators. Yes, that was an awesome game, even though we came away with the L, but that was amazing. And did not get to do much of my final shopping, so racing out of here, going to piano with Mason, and then out shopping.
That's the thing. This year has just been weird.
It's been nonstop. We didn't get a break. September is usually our break, and we did not get a break at all.
Yeah, the only reason I'm done shopping is I did a lot of it online, and then, or I did a lot of it like order or message the store in town and go pick it up. So even the local little boutiques and stuff are doing that. So
yeah, nice. I'll be racing through doing the last minute like I always do with the shopping.
Well, don't worry. It's the longest day of the year.
My problem is I go shopping and I'm like, oh, I want that, and I want that, I want that, and then I'm like, oh, I'm spent. I'll come back for somebody else later.
I knew I couldn't go shopping with you because I'd end up with a bunch of stuff for myself. Be like, hey, this looks cute. Oh, that looks cute. And then it'd be like nothing bought for anybody. So I stayed home. I did finish up everything this weekend, and I'm not spending any more money, knock on wood, until at least 2021.
Awesome. That's just around the corner.
I know. That's
so we've got some topics prepared for you all, but as always, we'll be starting with the Monday Market Minute.
Let's hear it. All right, let's see how December is looking. So far this month,
January.
Yeah, not January. We're not there yet. We have 188 active listings currently on the market. This is attached and detached. Listings on the market for that are still there that are listed in December 1st as of today. So far from December 1st till today, we have 244 pending listings. So obviously still going strong. People are still out there buying.
Yes, and still those new construction homes. That's why it's so much higher than closed.
Oh, I know.
We don't have that many new home construction communities, so.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Okay.
We'll be quiet. Oh, yes, I forgot. All the kids are home.
That's true.
You know, all right. Well, we won't say anything about Christmas. Closed sales, we have 225 for the month. I expect that number to go way up. Probably not necessarily this week, but next week. So we'll talk about that in the beginning of January.
Yeah, we'll do the end of the year and the end of December.
Yep.
To see that difference.
So, but I expect the numbers to be way up there.
We should compare the end of 2019 to 2020.
We can do that.
Let's do that.
We can do that. We will pull those numbers for you.
We'll have a couple of market numbers next week.
Well, we've had a lot of people asking. I know we discussed on the phone yesterday, and I was back in Tampa visiting my sister and my mother, and everybody in between. Sorry, Samuel. I saw you too. One of her questions was, what's the market going to do next year? So we could probably get a pretty good idea of looking at things. So we could pull the last couple of years and see how the last couple of years have ended and where we're predicting the trend to be.
Right, and we know that based on our conversation with Robert last week, rates are not going to go higher. They're going to stay at this low rate. So it's going to be a really strong year next year. And we'll talk about that again, as we have every week.
Everything's going quickly. You're right, Sam. So if you're thinking about listing or selling your home, let us know. Give us a call. Talk to the team. We're here to discuss with you. It is free, no obligation.
Yep.
We're happy to meet.
Come on our website and see what you can find there, and then give us a call.
We're happy to speak with you. Yeah. All right. So
we've got some, again, like I said, different topics, so we're going to get the next one up. This week, it's always good to give this buyer tip that we're going to give today.
This time of year.
So this time of year, because you're going to want to have bought by the end of December 31st, end of this year. If you have purchased January 1st to December 31st of this year, what can you do, Rebecca?
File for homestead.
Yes, and when do you have until to file for homestead?
March 1st.
Pretty much, yes.
Yes.
End of February. They will give you a little bit of leeway if you go and beg, but it's happened once or twice.
You got to beg really hard. I don't know anybody that's, I mean, I know
but
you know.
But that's like April, May. After that, no way. Really, by March 1st, you're going to want to turn that in. Now, we have talked a lot about you can email that in, do it online, but the best way, and I don't know how they're doing it this year with COVID, so I would call first. And if you're in Alachua County,
make an appointment.
It's the Alachua County Property Appraiser. That's any county you're in. Call the property appraiser, see what they are doing right now. Again, you have to close before December 31st. So if you close January 1st, you don't get to homestead. You can go in and apply for homestead, but you won't get it until the next year. Yes.
So I've had to go to the property appraiser's office a couple times in the past couple weeks. They're super efficient, very easy to work with. You call, you make an appointment, and you can go in person and turn it in.
So it's always better to go in and turn it in so that they have it, because they do take a long time. There you go, Carrie. Yes, if you buy it in a trust, you have to take your trust in for them to see it. Yes, and there have been years that you don't have to take your license in, but go ahead and take it, and any sort of documentation that shows you live there. Your license should show your new address. But sometimes, you need to make an appointment. Sometimes, you say you close December 31st and you're racing in there in January and you haven't had it done yet. Get it done. Change your license over and then take that in, because they will want to see that.
Yep, I think they made me bring my license and I think like a water bill or something in to do that. And you'll always see me on the last day, and I move a lot.
Except for shopping.
Yeah, the last day of the ability to apply for homestead is typically when I like to show up, and there's always a line, so don't...
Now, you don't have to apply for homestead.
Correct.
If you are moving from one home to the other. You have to reapply, but you also have to take the portability page. So there's a document you could download online on the Alachua County Property Appraiser and probably all of the others. It will ask you a few questions. You can fill it out, take that with you. And the second or third page is the portability page. So you can port your saver homes, current taxes or tax savings. But if you've already done it for last year, you don't have to do it again.
Oh, yeah.
Just your first time. And you'll get a little slip in the mail saying that it's renewed automatically. So no worries if you've done it before. If you didn't do it last year and you were eligible for last year, you can still do it now. And again, if you've already done it, it's okay. It's just you have until March 1st, technically, to turn it in for 2021. So really important. We've had people who've missed it. Not our people, because we send emails and reminders.
I have had people miss it. I've had family members miss it. But we do send email reminders if you're on the Rabell list to get that done, make sure it's taken care of.
And you know what? Even if you didn't buy with us and you have questions, go ahead and contact us. We'll be happy to help you.
Absolutely. Don't worry, we'll remind you in January and February to do this. So if you're not paying attention today, that's fine. All right.
So another little section we've come up with, in or out. Now, we don't have slides for these, so you have to imagine them in your brain. But we're going to be talking about what do we think's going in or coming in and staying in, or just completely out.
Basically, what's a fad and trend and what's going to stay around for a little longer, have longevity.
Right. So last year, the color of the year for at least Sherwin-Williams was naval. And we saw a lot of blue, navy type color cabinets, which of course I have done. So navy, is that still, I mean, we're talking about, doors, we're talking about your exterior decor, your cabinets, anything.
Yeah, I think Navy's sticking around. I know I talked to you at some point in the past week. I was over in Target, and I still see a lot of navy accents, and I'm glad, because I was really worried when they did the color list that it was going to be, move into a different, I think we saw a lot of golds and earth tones, which I love, but I was really excited. It was a lot of cream and navy combos for accessories.
Now, do you think that's because we're here in Gainesville or in Florida?
Well, that was in St. Augustine.
Okay, that was St. Augustine. Yeah, because I know that Gainesville, being from here, ACR, is always a little further behind, but I think with the advent of the internet, which I know has been around for a long time, I don't think we're as far behind as some other areas, at least not in decor. And if you're in Target, that's a national store.
That's a national brand, and it was one of the, it was the like Chip and Joanna Gaines, like collections, whatever they call that.
Well, I love navy, so,
so I was glad.
The cabinet, so let's say yay.
Yay.
We're going to say in. Anybody else throw in your vote, in or out?
I hope it's a trend that sticks around for a very long time.
Right, because I have a lot of navy.
Me too.
The next one is gold fixtures, or our gold fixtures. So gold lights, gold faucets, gold handles. Not the 1980s gold, but that sort of soft brushed gold. I think it came around a couple years ago. Carrie, your family works in lighting. Are you still seeing that trend? Because working out at Grand Oaks, we only have 2 colors that you can choose from, and that's oil rub bronze, which I kind of have a love and hate relationship with, and brushed nickel, which is kind of like a silvery look, color. But someone did come in this week. Okay, Carrie's in love with navy. What about the gold?
I'll be honest, I was really surprised when gold came back in style, and I do like it on certain things, but I don't know if I like it enough to invest in like light fixtures and different things. So I know I'm personally on the like, I hope it's out and I hope it goes away. I don't mind like gold, vases and things like that, I guess, but I just was really shocked when it came in. We had a couple people ask on our new construction site, and we just told them no. I have a hate relationship with oil rub bronze. I don't like it. I wish it would go
Everybody
out
wants
as well.
to pick it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, can that be out?
It was really big a couple years ago. She
gold,
loves gold, not brass.
Not brass.
Still
is still in. Yeah, there you go.
Maybe I'll get my
I'm going to have a
Christmas wish.
confession. I'm going to make a confession. So I bought this 1991 home last summer. Miller Joyner, our old builder we worked for, built it and sort of fell in love with it that was one of the reasons, oddly enough. And our bathroom is still like the 1991, but it had the gold brass look to it. But there's something charming about it that I kind of, when we redo it, because that's sort of next on the list, keeping with the gold. Now, the rest of the house is not gold. I do have gold light fixtures in my living room, my dining room, and my foyer that I just bought that I love.
The big circular one?
Yes, and then I have one in the dining room.
Now,
from Shades of Light, my favorite place to buy lights, by the way. And I love it there. But I did not redo my bathroom. I did that with brushed nickel because, again, I don't like oil rub bronze.
I don't either. We have that in common.
We've worked in new construction for so long, and that was everybody loves that one, and we're just so sick of it.
Kind of like dark wood cabinets.
So gold fixtures in. Kristen and Rebecca say oil rub bronze is out, although we know it's not.
That wasn't even on the list. We're just adding that.
Now the next thing is floating cabinets, and again, we don't have pictures, so imagine in your mind's eye, not in the middle of the room, so not your kitchen.
That would be kind of cool.
Right. Your bathroom, your floating cabinets.
It's up on the walls. It doesn't have all the downs.
Right. It's hanging. Looks like it's hanging there.
I don't hate it, but it's not my style. It's a little too modern for me. So
but is it in or is it out?
I don't. In Gainesville, I just don't think enough people are asking for it, or you have to be in a very particular
it's very
price
high-end pricing where you're going to see it is very modern, right? So it's probably in some higher-end areas, decoration area,
I always think it's in spaces that you don't have a lot of like space to do things in.
Right.
Like, why wouldn't you want it to go all the way down? I mean, that's just wasted potential cabinet space to store things.
Well, keeping in mind or in line with the cabinets, what about the waterfall counters? So falling over counters.
I think they're pretty accents.
I'm actually seeing that way more.
If you do a nice piece of quartz or granite, I'm in favor of them. I think they're beautiful. They're definitely on the pricier side because you're basically encasing an entire area into quartz or granite.
And if you use quartz is cut differently than granite, so they can't just like take pieces and tie them together. So it's a little bit more expensive, of course, unless you're getting like super high-end granite. So that's why it becomes more expensive because you have to get a whole other slab for those two sides rather than pieces, remnants, and cutting them together.
I think it's pretty. I'd rather see that than floating cabinets. If I was, building or redoing my kitchen at this moment, and I had a kitchen that seemed like it had a great island or bar area, I probably would look at it and do it because it's more of like a statement.
Well, because I've had quite a few, not just in Grand Oaks, but outside of Grand Oaks, buy and want to either, build new construction with those or renovate with those, then I'm going with that is still in. The waterfall countertops are still in, and I think they're pretty.
Yes, I agree.
Expensive but
we
pretty.
Concur. By the way, this is all just the opinion of Kristen and Rebecca.
Exactly.
None of this has been
no
officially.
No one else is giving their opinion either.
I know.
So.
All right, the next one I'm excited to talk about.
So the spa shower floors, they were in kind of for a hot little minute. I saw them everywhere, but I have not seen them continue. No one asks for them. I think they're
like
really
that keeps
uncomfortable on your feet.
It keeps trying to come back, because I remember when we got into real estate out in Arbor Greens, they were doing them.
Yes, they were.
And I was
that's
like,
the last time they were really big.
I'm going to be honest, I didn't like them then. And then I saw them come back a couple years ago, or try to come back in the last year or two. And I as an older adult now, I was like, yeah, I still don't like those. So
I think they're great at the spa, but I don't think they do really well in the houses. And I don't see anybody really care that much about them. So.
No, it just reminds me of like being in a river in like North Carolina, and it's all slimy and there's fish in the water. I don't like it. Nope, out.
So that's out. That's out.
Oh,
all right.
man.
So that's what we have for in or out. Oh, our next segment. What we're reading, that was fast. Reading, watching, and listening. So we decided to add this because we have a friend in real estate who does this outside of here in California. And I love this idea. So we'll start with, what are you reading?
Mostly news articles at this time, following what's happening locally, what's happening obviously with COVID and the vaccinations and all that, and then politically what's going on. If I had to say I'm mostly listening to a book right now, but I do have a book on my nightstand. It's called What to Say, and then I have another one, but I can't say one of the words in the title.
Okay.
It's Wise as...
Hello.
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 All right, so I'm reading. So I read a lot of online articles, so that's kind of boring to tell you. But Tiny Habits, I sort of picked it back up. BJ Fogg, that's right. Sorry, when you're like reading on your phone, you always forget those things. But it's basically about changing your mind so that you can not wait till the last second to go Christmas shopping. But really, what causes habits? It's not just consistency. It's actually making the decision, like having that epiphany to do it so that you can really want to change, because you're not going to change unless you want it. You're not going to change because your mama told you, or your wife or husband told you, or your kids said change. You're going to change because you and your heart and mind said, I want to change. And then it's basically continuing on with that. You sometimes have to, the biggest thing is you have to change your environment. So if you're trying, this is big probably with AAA. If you're trying to get away from smoking or drinking, you got to get away from the bars, right? So in that same vein, if you need to get away from the naysayers, then you have to change the people you hang out with. And everybody always says, hang out with people who make you better. And so if you're spending time with people who are not making you better, change that environment.
They say you are the five people you hang out with.
Right. And then the other big part of it is, it really does have to do with that, your emotional state, and waking up every day and saying, how do I want to feel today? And making sure you feel that way. And if you're in a sad state, then you stay away and be in that sad state, but you've got to get yourself out of that state. So if you wake up angry and mad, that's going to be your day. So if you say, I'm going to wake up happy and I'm going to do really well today, I'm going to meet 5 people, I'm going to make some money, however you think positively, that's just how you're going to do it. And I like these kind of books because I need them. And I like to talk with people about them. But this always reminds me of that little girl meme from like 10 years ago. And she's on the mirror and she's jumping back and forth.
Oh, yes.
I love you. You're going to do great.
You are
I'm a great person. Oh,
yes.
I love that.
I love that.
So it was a joke back then, but it was so true. You got to pump yourself up.
Positive
and give yourself,
affirmations.
Yep. So that, I picked it back up because I do really like that. And again, not just about consistency, really about your own mind. And I think it's really powerful if you can change your mind and force it to change, and then really be the change that you want to be. So we're going to go through, what are you watching?
I think we will talk about that right after the break.
We can finish this segment and then break.
Okay. Are you going to finish? All right. I'm not really watching anything. I think I watched like 12 hours of Gordon Ramsay's Nightmare Kitchen over the weekend.
Okay.
And then we've been watching Christmas movies.
Totally
I
scares me.
friggin' love it. I love it. I'm like, wow, he's amazing. He just goes in there. Although I will tell you, I'm like horrified to eat at restaurants. So now I'm like looking as I walk in. I'm like, are the tomatoes rotten? Is the spinach bad? It's just... It's very interesting and enlightening, but every industry kind of has that. So
right, and I know we both watched The Crown, which
love The Crown. About that. I watched it twice already. Season 4.
Well, I went back to the very beginning and rewatching it, but did rewatch watch the last season, and then I got really into The Queen's Gambit. Have you watched that show? Oh, it's so good.
The lady with the red hair, is that good? She's got a little bit of red hair.
Yeah, the girl.
She like the preview like freaked me out. I get scared easily. So
there's another show that I watched. Susan, what was it? And I was like, I'm not watching it. Nurse something.
Nurse Ratched?
No, heck no. That scares me.
I won't watch that. I watched a little bit of that and I won't watch it either.
I watched one episode. I was like, this is the most terrifying thing I've ever seen. I don't like anyone. No, but The Queen's Gambit is really good. You know, about a young chess prodigy in like the 1950s and 60s, and she's basically like an emotional wreck, but she's a phenomenal player. So I don't know. I thought that was really exciting.
I've watched Home Alone like 5 times in the last week.
Yes, we have 2, Home Alone 1 and 2, some of the best movies.
Yeah, so I get freaked out. So like the Nurse Ratched thing I don't like. I know we tried to watch like I think it's called Hannibal or it's like the precursor to Red Dragon. Too scary. So here's a Rebecca fact. If I get scared, I just go to sleep immediately. So Christmas movies, It's a Wonderful Life. I've never seen that. I'll have to put it on the list.
You're deprived as a child.
What was the other one? The Miracle on 34th Street? Mm-hmm. Never seen that either. So I need to watch it. More of a Home Alone.
But hey.
I don't know.
Yeah, we've seen Home Alone 1 and 2 quite a few times.
I know. My kids are obsessed with that right now. So, oh, here we go. Here's, I have been watching RC racer construction videos. Did you know there's a whole segment of the population that they are grown people and they're on their construction sites and they're playing with RC remote controls.
Yep.
My kids all love watching that. Cool. It's very peculiar.
We haven't seen it, but I remember watching that as a kid myself, so we would love that. And then in terms of other shows we're watching or other Christmas movies, The Grinch Stole Christmas. We watched it last night.
I have to watch that.
I don't know. You haven't seen it at all?
I haven't seen like the Jim Carrey one.
He's such a Jim Carrey, but he's so funny. Mason was just laughing, guffawing last night, which was so cute watching it for his like millionth time.
My kids are weird. They like pick one movie and that's like what they want to watch. So I'll have to remember The Grinch.
We forced
Jamie, make them watch The Grinch.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
And then I wanted to have them watch the like Charlie Brown and Snoopy stuff.
Yep, I'll watch that too.
They haven't watched that. But.
So what are you listening to?
I've been listening to Selling Ninja, which I don't remember who the author is.
Cool.
I've
we gave those books to all of our agents this past week.
Yep. So I picked it back up and was listening to it in the car because I've been driving around a lot. And I just like it because it talks about a little bit what you talk about, like positive mindset, setting a schedule, sticking to it. And I'm really hoping that we can focus and talk with our agents more about that in 2021. So I was like, well, I might as well pick it back up and have a refresh.
Cool. So who am I listening to or what am I listening to? So my dad is like super into stocks. And so he's always sending me emails and texts about, you know, things to listen to. So I started listening to Peter Schiff, which I've talked about him before in the very beginning. And he talks a lot about finances and stocks and really where the economy is going. And so he's very interesting. I follow him on YouTube. So when I'm sitting there, you know, just hanging out and it comes up, I'll go to watch it. And yeah, anything about multifamily. So there's this one guy I watch. We know who he is. Bo.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
I do listen to Bo.
They won't know who that is. You gotta say the full name.
Bo Berry from Coldwell Banker local. He is the king of multifamily investing.
In our area.
Yeah, so I'll listen to him. But he's more of a short podcast commercial, you know, whereas Peter Schiff is like it's like an hour to 2 hours. So that's what I'm listening to.
I like it.
All right.
I listen to Bo too.
All right, guys. So we'll see you after this break. Thanks for hanging on. I discovered Rabell Realty Group because Kristen is one of my oldest friends in Gainesville. And when I was looking around at brokerages, it just seemed like a natural fit. The problem I was looking to solve when I joined Rabell Realty Group was getting out of the rut I was in my career. I was very tired of being a graphic designer. I think the biggest benefits that I've received while working at Rabell is a sense of community, being able to work my own schedule, be with my family, show up to my kids' events when I want to, not having to ask for sick time, really becoming a business owner for my own business. I would recommend Rabell Realty Group to anybody in real estate who really wants the sense of community and who wants to feel like their brokers have your back and wants to work with people who are not in competition with you, but instead are trying to lift you up.
I've really seen this firm change a whole lot over the past few years and grow into something much bigger and much different than I've seen anywhere else in the community. For being a small boutique brokerage, they have a powerful force in the real estate industry in Gainesville.
Hello, welcome back. Thanks for joining in again. We are going to go into story time with Kristen and Rebecca. So sit back, relax, and we'll talk about a few fun things.
Yep, get on the circle, crisscross applesauce, grab your blanket. Let's get ready for a little story.
No, but for serious. Like I said, I was in Atlanta. You skipped out on us.
Christmas shopping, I'm a planner.
Yeah, so I went to Atlanta for the SEC game, and we were driving back, and it's Sunday, so we didn't stop. So the story is all about a very famous restaurant that's always closed on Sundays, so you know what I'm talking about. But we're driving through, and we're driving right outside of Atlanta, south of Atlanta in Hapeville, which I'd never really paid attention to. And Susan goes, "What is that adorable sign? That's like the oldest Chick-fil-A sign I've ever seen." And so we kind of drive back, and it says the Dwarf House, and we didn't really take any pictures, but so these are all stolen from the internet. But that's the old sign. We were like, that's really weird. Why would they have that up? You know, you would think that they would force the new sign, you know, all of the restaurants to have the new sign. And so then she reminded me that Jamie, are you on here? That Jamie is a Chick-fil-A freak. She's like a red card holding
I didn't
Chick-fil-A.
even know.
Yeah,
that there was a secret Chick-fil-A society.
We had no idea, right? So I guess that's like you really eat a lot of chicken sandwiches from Chick-fil-A, and so Susan was like, "Well, I think Chick-fil-A was started in Atlanta," and so I went to go look it up, and it was the most adorable little story I have ever read. So I wanted to share it today because I started sharing it with everybody, and everybody was like, "Oh my God, that's amazing!"
It's interesting.
So I guess we didn't know. Here we are, 5 hours away, which, by the way, is what I love about Gainesville. We're 5 hours north of Miami. 5 hours south of Atlanta. You can get 5 hours east of Destin. You can get to a lot of really special places in a fairly short time. Yes, 5 hours is not a great drive away, but you can drive up to that area, stay the night, and come back. So let's go back.
We digress.
Squirrel.
Yes.
So we look it up, and Trent Truitt, Kathy, if anybody knows, probably only Jamie here, was the owner of this cute little grill, or I guess the Dwarf Grill, and it was an old restaurant. You know, everyone would just sit at the bar and order sandwiches and steaks, and that's where he started testing his recipe for the original Chick-fil-A sandwich. And so eventually he came up with Chick-fil-A brand, came up with the award-winning sandwich and how it's made and how it's served, and still served to this day. And so they changed that location to the Dwarf House. And it's still set up the same way, and you can still go in and order food from the original menu, but also all of the Chick-fil-A food. It's kind of like a diner. That's exactly how it's set up, like an old soda pop diner, super cute. Again, it was closed, we couldn't go by. So then we started researching more and found out that there's the blue menu from 1946 when he opened that Dwarf Grill. And it has the original prices on there: 15 cents for a burger, 65 cents for a steak plate, and a cup of coffee, 5 cents, right? That would be a great after drunken moment for you, Miss Steak Plate Girl.
Yes.
And
that's a different story.
But there's only 2 people in the last 20 years have been awarded to order off of that blue menu, and like 6 or 7 total. So all the stories I was reading were about these people who had been going there since the 60s or 70s, and they, at the 70-year reunion, one of them was awarded, to be able to use this blue menu. But these adorable little buildings are all over, and then some are called the Truitt Chick-fil-A's, and again, the Dwarf House Chick-fil-A. This is the original one. At least this is the one I think it is. But I don't know. I just thought this was the most charming little story. So then we started thinking, what would be a great trip to make, like a road trip, to go out and see things like this. So I was hoping, some people would be on, and maybe we could come up with a list for after Christmas of great little road trips to go see, just Americana. I mean, you know, Coca-Cola was also out of Atlanta. And didn't your sister work for Coca-Cola?
My sister does work for
still work for
Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola,
She's in the
right.
HR department, and she's always looking for people. So
If you need a job,
if you need a
Coca-Cola's always
job,
looking.
she
You
can
know,
post her territory.
And then you wonder, do you know if Coca-Cola's out, or Chick-fil-A, well, not Coca-Cola, that's everywhere, but Chick-fil-A's out on the West Coast?
Oh, is it?
No, I don't know. We've
I
got
have
to
no
look this
idea.
up. We have to ask somebody.
I don't think that they get Chick-fil-A out on the West Coast. I don't know. Chick-fil-A probably, they're like, we're not going to mess with those
Probably
people
why
out
they're all
there.
pretentious out there. They don't have the Lord's chicken. Just kidding.
My mom didn't know that that's what it's called. And to be fair, I didn't know that it was called the Lord's Chicken until I think I learned it this year, maybe last year.
It's been a couple of years that everybody's been saying the Lord's chicken.
I saw it on a Facebook post that I was like,
I know
what?
why. There was something that they did. But
Oh, yes.
It's really the Sunday closed. I remember at the Oaks Mall, again, growing up here at the Oaks Mall, going in, and that was like was the best restaurant. We would raise, I mean, there was an Eero restaurant. Gyro, if y'all don't know what Eero means. Or Gyro.
Gyro.
Right? But also Chick-fil-A, and that's really my taste. Nope, not
out west. I don't know about that In-N-Out burger stuff.
Yeah.
That does not compare
We have
to Chick-fil-A.
Matt's, we have Sandwich Inn, we have Bev's. In-N-Out, you can go.
I've never had it, but I'm gonna give it the out because we're
good
Southern
hard
and we
try,
like our
right.
chicken. Yeah, I was fascinated when Jamie came to work with us as an intern a little over a year ago, and now she just works at the Johnson household. But she was telling us all about this red card and how she can't wait to go to Atlanta because she gets to take some special private tour at Chick-fil-A. And I'm like, how do you find this stuff out? Like, how many sandwiches do you have to order to get to do this? But that is an interesting history, and it was all right here in the
Not too far from Gainesville.
southeast.
I mean, we've got history here with Gatorade.
That's true. I didn't know that
Museum
Gatorade.
now is all.
And I heard the Whopper was created here. I don't know if that's true.
Well,
but
no,
that's what
I don't think it
told.
was created here, but his granddaughter Wendy went to UF, and she's a UF grad.
That's why we
So,
have
yes.
those big Whoppers on the
Yes. So Wendy's is really big here, but I don't think he's from here. Again, you know what? We should have a little
have a
segment about who came from Gainesville.
Gainesville famous is
Yes,
what we'll call it.
We'll do that next. Give us some ideas,
Lifestyles
guys.
of the Gainesville famous. Yes, drop who you want to know about below, and we'll do some.
It could
digging.
be Alachua County, right?
I like it. We'll do an Alachua County famous and a Gainesville famous because there is a thing called Gainesville famous. I have noticed where you're big in town. But that's interesting, and that would be a very interesting road trip to take.
A little Americana in the South, because
Have you taken Mason to the bottling company at Coke?
Nope, I went when I was a kid, but I have not taken him yet.
I'm wondering if they're doing that stuff right now with
I
COVID.
don't know. It's COVID. Not doing much of anything.
Yeah, well, we're just eating Chick-fil-A sandwiches apparently.
No, it was Sunday. We didn't even get one.
That is the worst thing about a road trip, by the way. I know I'm supposed to be saying join, but I'll tell you that in a second. Why is it that you only want Chick-fil-A? You always want what you can't have. You always want what you can't have.
Sunday.
That's just how it works.
That was
Well,
them all too.
yes. If you're thinking about getting into real estate and you have any questions, we'd be happy to talk with you and tell you how to get started. Just email us at join@buysellrebell.com. If you're looking to get social, we have several social media outlets for you. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok. I personally think TikTok is the most fun. But
But you're going to get sucked in on everything
I know,
else.
but then you'll spend 2 hours there and you won't be able to do anything else. So you should
old
probably just find
Facebook.
us on Facebook for all of us old people out there. So anyways, blog.
Hey, did you know we have a blog, and we post a lot of what we already talk about during the podcast. So find it on www.buysellrebell.com/blog. And thank you to the Fiesta Media, full podcast production. That's who produces us. Call them right there at 352-327-5089 if you want to start your own podcast.
All right. Well, we will see you next week.
Thank you for joining. We want to wish you all a Merry Christmas, the end of your Hanukkah, Merry Festivus. But really,
I forgot Christmas was on Thursday or Friday. Whatever day
Friday, yes.
Oh,
it's right
man.
around the corner. So Merry Christmas, all.
Merry Christmas.
We'll see you next
We'll see
week.
you next week.
Bye.